So, how do we deal with people who have dementia and they become inappropriate, sexually inappropriate? There are cases where someone with dementia will touch someone inappropriately. Sometimes you're not aware, and before you know it, they touched places that they are not supposed to be touching in the caregivers or the people that are taking care of them. Sometimes they say inappropriate things to the caregivers. So, how do we deal with that? Welcome. Again, this is McKenna, and I just want to touch a little bit on this subject because it's very common and sometimes it's so easy for caregivers to be very upset, sometimes become like on a same level with the person. So let's talk about this. Number one, when we care for someone with dementia, okay, they are not a child. They are people who have lived a full life and they have life experience. So they are not a child and we can't treat them like a child. But we need to remember they have a disease, and the disease they have impacts their cognition. So we can redirect them very easily. And what about when we can't redirect them? So, first of all, we are sexual beings. Human beings are sexual beings. And what happens with life is when we are our normal self, it's very easy to control our minds. It's very easy to control our actions. When somebody has dementia, they lose control of how they think, how they speak, how they behave. One day we went for a birthday party. It was held in a park, an indoor park. So everybody, there were so many people, different tables celebrating birthdays. And there was this woman who went to change her son's diaper. Her son was about 2 to 3 years old, I would assume. When she took off the diaper, and for some weird reason, I think he was messy and she had taken off everything. And she turned to grab something. And when she turned, there was no child. The son just stood up and ran. And he was excited. He was running through this park, and everybody was just laughing. This child was stark naked, but he was a 2 year old to 3 year old. I can imagine he was going like freedom because clothes can be very restricting. Freedom. He was a 3 year old, a 2 year old, 3 year old. I'm not sure. But at that age, they don't care. They are not thinking, "Oh my gosh, people are looking at me." They don't care. They don't that doesn't even come to their mind because they are very innocent. They'll run. You see children sometimes touching themselves inappropriately, and when they are children, we train them. We say, "No, don't touch that. Don't do this." And because they are growing, they learn and they understand. When people have dementia, they regress. And when they regress, you cannot train them because they are losing their ability to think and to understand. So we learn, number one, to not be shocked at anything. We learn to not be shocked. So when you are taking care of someone with dementia, always wear your shock absorbers because you never know what's going to come out of their mouth or what they're going to do. So always wear shock absorbers, be professional so that you are never shocked. by anything. And um, when you care for someone with dementia, always maintain healthy distance. Don't go too close. And every time, especially if you're helping them with dressing, never do it. Sometimes with your kids, you might be helping your child to get dressed and you are talking and you are doing this and you are doing that. When it's someone with dementia and you are helping them with dressing, things like that, keep your eyes on them and especially keep your eyes on their hands because their hands can move very fast before you know it. So you hear people say they grabbed them at the wrong places. Always have your hands, have your eyes on their hands when you are helping them. If it's dressing them, one technique that I can offer somebody is dress them from the side. And let's say you're helping them with a coat or a sweater and they are struggling, dress them from the side and then go to the back and dress them from the other side. But when you stand too close to them, remember they are human beings and they might not, how they feel, they might not be able to censor how they feel or control it. So you as the caregiver, you have to be the one that is always very, very alert about their movement. And when they say something inappropriate, try to redirect them. You can tell them, I don't appreciate that, or please don't say that to me. You might tell them, I'm not your wife, I'm a caregiver, I'm here to help. And sometimes it's very easy to redirect them. If they are persistent, you might want to give them space and go somewhere else and say, I'll come back in some time. Make sure they are safe. You really never want to compromise the safety of somebody with dementia with your feelings. That's why, as a caregiver, you actually don't get mad at them because then it makes you unable to care for them. So you might want to move to a different place and then reapproach. And when you come back, most times they don't even remember what happened, depending on the progression of the dementia. They may not even ever remember they said something inappropriate or did something inappropriate. So when you come back, come with a different subject. Hey, let's go shopping or let's go eat and approach them in a calm manner. Now, depending on individuals, there are some people you might need to wear a professional look with them all the time, depending on their behavior. There are some people you will not smile at because if you smile at them, they are not able to distinguish. And so they think differently. And so there are some people you might always have to wear a flat affect and be professional, but don't be mean. Just you can wear a flat affect without really um, being mean or approaching in a way that is demeaning or rude. But there are others you can be cheerful with and you cheer them up. So it takes really getting to know each person as an individual and then figuring out how you will approach them. The key thing is a lot of redirection. And when they become inappropriate, don't take it personal. They might be thinking if they were married, you are their wife. Or they might be thinking you are so and so that they know. Or you might have an appearance that they like. And you can't help that. So you being mature enough to handle it with grace is very important. Being kind, being realizing that their cognitive ability is very affected and they don't have the same control over their thinking, their words, like they once did. So just approaching kindly, being prepared all the time, and knowing that they are not trying to do that to you. If it's a man, this is not a young man trying to flirt with you. This is a man with dementia that doesn't know what he is doing. If it's a woman, because there are women that become inappropriate. You go to nursing facilities and there are women who harass men caregivers, and sometimes it can be so severe that they have to change who their caregiver is because they tag somebody a certain way and it becomes impossible to care for that person. So it's such a journey that takes a lot of kindness, understanding. Sometimes it might be that if you are taking care of your loved one at home and they persist in odd behaviors, it might be that you always bring somebody else, especially if it's to their room and you're going to go and care for them in their bedroom. Bring somebody else with you always, because that can take care of some behaviors. So, these are just a few tips, but a reminder that we are sexual beings. And when people have dementia, depending on the progression, they might be inappropriate. And be the adult in the room. Don't take it personally. Just learn not to take somebody with dementia personally, because a lot of times 99% of the time they it's a passing cloud. They might say something one day and never remember that they ever said it, and they may never say it again. It might be that moment of something triggered in their mind, and then they are done. So I just wanted to touch on that because with dementia, this happens a lot where, somebody, and then people get very upset. There are types of dementia that have a lot of behavior issues. Talk with the doctors because they can get medication that can help um, curb some of the behaviors. So, those are just a few tips. Maintain a healthy distance all the time when you care for someone with dementia. But at the end of the day, don't take them personally. Redirect them, sometimes walk away and then reapproach. Just always remember they are not trying to do it to you, they have dementia. Always keep that in mind to maintain kindness and love towards them, because remember, they need you. They need you. All right. God bless.